Hi, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Divorceapalooza. So, if you're listening to this or watching it and you are going through a divorce and thinking that you are going to sell your house and or buy a new home, then you're probably looking for a real estate agent and you're thinking, I'm going to ask my friends and search the internet. In this episode, I want to talk about the benefit of using a certified divorce real estate expert, and it's called a CDRE, and it is a special designation that real estate agents can get if they want to specialize in divorce. Now, I don't know this for sure, but I heard it's expensive to get this designation. There's not a lot of people who have it. And that's why I love it and think it's important, because if these real estate agents are willing to get this, they either have a passion to help people with divorce, and also this designation is going to train them in areas that other real estate agents are not trained in. So I think it's going to be a great episode. My guest is Holly Norman, and Holly is a real estate agent in Atlanta, Georgia. I think you said the northern suburbs, right?
That's correct.
So, hi, Holly.
Hi.
How long have you been a real estate agent?
21 years.
And you told me before we started recording that you decided to get your CDRE certificate in 2023. That's when you got it. What led you to doing that?
Well, so there were a few things. I had approached a point in my career where honestly I was looking for a new challenge. And I have witnessed with family, friends, so many divorces in my time. And in real estate, you have to seek out the training that you want, right? It's not something that is just every broker teaches the same thing. That's not how real estate works. So you need to seek out what you want to specialize in. And you just don't know what you don't know. So when I've helped people in the past, I always felt like there was more. There was more for me to know. There was more for me to learn. There was more ways that I could help. So in 2023, I started doing a lot of research because it's very easy to take a 2-day online class, put some initials by your name, pay a fee every year, and call yourself a pro at this. And that's not what I was looking for. I wanted something that was very specific, that was very engaging, and that taught me everything I needed to know. And so when I came across the CDRE, it's very difficult to be accepted into their program, which I liked. There's only 6 of us in the entire state of Georgia right now.
Mhm.
So I had to be interviewed in twice by 2 different people. I had to be interviewed in. I had to submit a resume. I had to be vetted. I had to have certain accolades to even be considered into the program. And then once you are accepted into the program, yes, it is expensive. It's an expensive program to buy into, but it is also an intensive 8-week training. You learn a ton, things that didn't even cross my mind in 21 years of real estate. At that time, I guess it was about 19 years of real estate, but it just didn't even cross my mind. So I learned so much during this training. And then once that is over and you've earned your designation, there's the opportunity to move forward into Master Club, which I did. So there's even less of us CDREs in Master Club, and that is ongoing weekly training. So every single week, we are on Zooms with other CDREs across the nation and family law attorneys that are training us.
Okay, I'll tell you why I love this, because they charge a lot and they demand a lot of your time because they only want people who really want to help divorced people. So nobody's just, it's easy for someone to go, "Oh, I specialize in divorce." But they really want to train people how to do it the right way. They want you to spend a lot so that you're invested, because they want to weed out anyone who's just sort of doing it for the heck of it. And I really like that. Okay, I
I
want to move into why somebody should hire a CDRE. What exactly are you getting that you're not getting with a regular real estate agent if you're going through a divorce?
So all of the training, which is a massive advantage to hiring a CDRE. So I'll give you one example, neutrality, right? So we are trained neutrals, which means we are not picking one side or the other. We are trained to be a neutral party. I think that's very important.
Mhm.
Um, the other thing is equal but separate communication. And I'll tell you, here's where I went wrong before I was a CDRE and before I got this training when I was handling divorcing clients. They would be put on the same email, the same text chain. We'd have conference calls. That is really the wrong way to handle a divorce
Absolutely. I
situation.
never even thought of
Absolutely
that. What a
is.
nightmare.
Right. It is. It's
Mhm.
absolutely the wrong way to handle it. So that being a trained neutral is humongous, and knowing how to do that and handle parties and the different conflicts that can come up and really be trained on how to identify those conflicts and then tamp them down um, is just paramount. It really is. And without this training, I would not know near what I know now on how to handle a divorcing couple in divorce situations.
Mhm.
Plus, there's also all of these other things to learn about assumable mortgages and different ways that real estate can be handled in a divorcing couple situation. So it the difference is night and day between a trained certified divorce real estate expert and just a typical realtor that does not have that specialized training. It
Okay, I just thought of something else. So, because you are in this specialty of divorce, now I'm sure you have other clients who are not going through a divorce. It's not your whole practice, but you are constantly networking with other divorce professionals. So, you can also be helpful in other aspects of the divorce when somebody is your client. You can recommend. I know, like, I'm still calling my real estate agent for referrals for things. Whenever I don't know who to call, I call my real estate agent. And so for someone going through a divorce, that's really big.
Well, it is. So, yes, I deal with traditional real estate all the time, and I got the call earlier today for a contractor. So, but in divorce situations, and I think this is something that is not as well known as it could be, and so helping to spread this word I think is also important, is that there's other people that also specialize in divorce that someone that is in this situation could benefit from, such as a certified divorce financial analyst, a certified divorce lending professional, right? So there's all kinds of other people who specialize and want to help people that are in these situations. And
Mhm.
the earlier that you call in some of these specialties, the better your outcome could ultimately be, especially when you get into finances. That's a huge part of a divorce, right? Every divorce, that's a big part. And
Mhm.
if you are not someone who is used to dealing with the family finances or used to dealing with the investments, having someone look over what those investments are and what can be done there is huge. And there's people out here that specialize in this for divorcing couples that want to help. So I absolutely can make those introductions. And I think it's a huge benefit when you're working with divorce professionals. They know other divorce professionals in their particular industry.
I just love it. And also I want to tell people watching, if you work with a CDRE, any CDRE or
Mhm.
Holly or any of them, it doesn't cost any more than working with a regular real estate agent. So why wouldn't
Right.
somebody go to a CDRE? Because you're really getting free divorce advice while
Yeah.
you're selling your home. But I think you really hit it on the head about being a neutral party. Do you ever have any interaction with divorce lawyers?
I do. Yes. I have interaction with divorce lawyers all the time. So, I mean, we get assigned cases from attorneys, and when I have a particular case right now, so and it came from the attorney, and but I am still a trained neutral. So even though that attorney represents one party, right, it is equal but separate communication. So every conversation I have with the one spouse, I'm going to have with the other spouse as well. So they both have the benefit of the CDRE, regardless of which family law attorney might have introduced me into the mix. They both get the experience. They both get the expertise. They both get the same advice. And it really is listening to both parties and trying to find out what are the struggles? What are we trying to overcome? What is the goal? Do we need to sell the house by a certain date? What does this divorce decree say? And it's taking everything into consideration and then taking a plan and creating it that is specific to that situation. So traditional real estate is like that as well. We all create a plan that is specific, but there's typically more moving parts in divorce. So we have to just ask more questions. We have to take more things into account, right? I have one that we just finished up at the end of last year where the daughter was homeschooled. And the in-spouse didn't want showings while the daughter was at home, and she was a teenage daughter, and I can completely understand that, right? She doesn't want strangers coming into her house while her daughter's at home being homeschooled. So we had to work around that. And it
Mhm.
was just really having that conversation with both spouses and saying, here's how we're able to overcome this challenge and move forward. And it all worked out. So it was great.
Holly, I just love it, and you sound like you're a really good listener and that you're very accommodating. And in divorce, those are two things that are so, so important. Thank you so much for being on Divorceapalooza.
Thank you so much, Jackie. I enjoyed being here. I really appreciate it.
I want to tell everyone who's watching, if you want to have a consultation with Holly, she is in the northern suburbs of Atlanta. The name of her company is Chris Alex Real Estate, which is chrisalexrealestate.com. And her name is Holly Norman. And Holly, you're awesome. Thank you again.
Thanks so much, Jackie. I really appreciate it.
And you can also find Holly in the trusted professional section of Divorced Girl Smiling, which is divorcedgirlsmiling.com. Thanks so much for watching, everyone.